Hello everyone, my name is Gary. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing how to improve your voice, and I've got 6 ways. We're going to go through each one and discuss it. Let's get to it.
Gary Gredison Beats.
Okay, so today we have 6 ways to improve your voice. There's most likely a lot more ways that you can improve your voice. There's definitely a lot, but these are the 6 that I came up with over the last couple of days, and I think that they're very applicable and they're things that you can do and that you should be doing. Okay, so the first way that you can improve your voice consistently is with regular practice. Regular doesn't mean practicing once a week. Regular means practicing at least a little bit every single day. So if you exercise your voice regularly, it's going to build strength, it's going to build endurance, and it's going to grow your range if you're a singer, or your range if you're a rapper, how you can use your voice and manipulate your voice. It's just going to make you better and in more control of your voice. Just the idea of practicing regularly, going through songs that you're working on, maybe you're writing or they're cover songs or whatever, just going through stuff, practicing, using your voice, obviously practicing the right way in terms of breathing, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but, regular practice is one of the most important things that you need to be doing as a vocalist. Really, as anyone doing anything, regular practice is important. Okay? Whether it's playing an instrument, doing art, doing a job, anything. So regular practice is key. It's really essential. But, a lot of people will say, I don't really have time to practice every day. Or I don't have a place to practice every day. Or, I don't know, whatever it is. If this is important to you, you'll find a way. Get in your car and just sit in your car and practice for a half hour every day. Or take a walk, down the block and sing on the way or rap to yourself, or, obviously you have to do it out loud. I don't mean to yourself like in your head, but, use your voice, work it out. Your voice gets stronger with regular use. With overuse, it can become a bad thing. But with regular practice, I think you'll really see improvements, significant improvements within a short period of time, week or two. With regular practice, you'll be able to do more, go for longer periods of time. It's really, really important to practice regularly. I can't stress that enough. So let's check out the next way that we can improve our voice. The second way to improve your voice is to study breath control. And breath control, but also breath exercises. So learning about how to control your breath, how to exercise the areas that you need to hold the breath and have full control over the breath and not be gasping for air or anything like that. I'm not going to go through specific breathing techniques, but I can assure you that there's probably a good 1,001 videos right on YouTube regarding breath exercises, breath control. So I'm going to say go and look for that. Go and take a look around and find out what different coaches, different people are saying about breathing and breathing exercises, breathing control. Take it all in and work on what works for you, what feels good and feels best for you and your voice and the way that you are, because everyone's voice is different. Everyone's approach to using their voice, singing, rapping, whatever, is different. Okay, but the idea of breathing is universal. You must have full control of your breathing in order to deliver a good vocal performance. It's essential. And to expand on that, like when you're working out how you're going to perform songs, you need to be aware, not just of the parts themselves, but of where you're breathing in those parts. What points in the song do I take a breath? Okay, is it before this line, or do I go a little bit past this line and breathe in between because it segues into the next line, or whatever it is? You need to know where you're taking breaths in the things that you're performing. It's really essential. So you need to just spend the time going through the stuff, not just the parts themselves, but where you're breathing, and that's going to help you learn the parts better and be better with the parts, you know? So, but overall, understanding ways to control your breath will drastically improve your voice, because I mean, especially if you're not breathing properly from the diaphragm and holding the air properly, controlling how it comes out and what pace it comes out. If you're not doing that, you're gonna be leaning on your throat, which is going to strain you very quickly and potentially harm your voice. So it's important to find ways to learn to control your breath, but to transition the way that you're breathing from up here to down just below your rib cage using your abs. Okay, not everybody has abs, right? But everybody has muscles in that area, no matter what's on top of it, okay, or not. There's something you can use there to hold that air and release it slowly as needed, more when needed. So the more that you can study and learn about that, the better. So do some Googling, do some YouTubing regarding breath control, breath exercises, breathing from the diaphragm, breathing while singing, breathing while rapping, like whatever it is, use those terms, look around and spend time doing it. Study that stuff. Breath control is important. It's really, really, really important. So the third way to improve your voice that I have here today is to record yourself regularly. This means a lot of things. This means, yes, go to the studio and record yourself on cover songs, on freestyles on beats, or songs that you've written over beats, or, anything. Record yourself, yes, do that. Or in a home studio, on the mic, record yourself regularly that way, yes. But really also it's, I have a studio, and still sometimes I'll record myself right on the phone, right through the voice recorder, okay? And just so I can hear it back real quick, okay? What I found is that you truly do not know what your voice actually sounds like until you hear it back from an outside source, meaning a recording, whether it's a video recording or an audio recording, whatever. To see and hear yourself back is huge. I find that a lot of people will, in the first few initial takes, especially early on in their recording, journey, let's say, with the initial takes, will record and they'll think they sound one way and then hear themselves back when I play it back for them and go, wow, I really didn't realize that I sounded that way. I want to try something different because it doesn't really sound right to me. Oh, wow, I didn't realize I sounded that good. It didn't seem that good to me in my head. So that has happened. But more often than not, it's that you didn't realize you sound a certain way, so you weren't aware of certain quirks in your voice that you could gain control over just simply by knowing what it actually sounds like. There's a thing that happens to the way that we hear our own voice as we speak or sing or anything. Because of the way that our voice resonates through our body and through our head, where our ears are, okay, that's where our ears are, right? So our head is vibrating all here and here as we're speaking and singing. There's a discrepancy in what the voice actually sounds like because it's a mixture of the whole thing, okay? When you hear me from over there, you hear my entire voice from the entire resonation. Here, when I'm speaking or singing, this way, the way I hear it here is a skewed version of heavy resonation from the head and less from the chest and the throat itself, mixed maybe with a little bit of reflection from a wall nearby or from the room. So it's skewed differently than the way someone outside or from the way a microphone would hear you. So hearing that can be really, really invaluable, like just very, very, very essential to growth. I would say that the more you can record yourself and hear yourself back or see, or both, see and hear yourself, the better. And I mean, you don't have to show anyone these recordings. That's not what this is about. This is not anything other than for you to work on you, to hear yourself and work on yourself. Find ways to improve your voice on your own because you're hearing yourself back and you can say, oh, wow, this is what I need to do in order to sound the way I want to sound. So keep that in mind and give yourself a chance to improve by hearing yourself back and really seeing what's going on. It's a great way to prepare getting into the studios by just recording yourself on your phone and hearing, I mean, it's totally essential. Really, really is. And then, of course, also recordings, professional recordings. Do that a lot as well, whether it's at your house, whether it's at a studio, anything like that. So definitely record yourself regularly, okay? And continue to do so. Don't stop doing it just because, oh, well, I got better, so I don't have to do that anymore. But that's an ongoing thing because you always want to improve your voice, correct? I mean, you always want to get better. You always want to be doing a better version of what you're doing. So keep improving, keep recording yourself, and move forward from there. The fourth way to improve your voice is to focus on your strengths, okay? I find that a lot of people tend to focus on their weaknesses, what they can't do, what they don't have, what resources they don't have. You must learn to find what you have that's valuable. Find what kind of assets, what parts of your voice are really, really something you love, and what parts of your voice you don't love, what you dislike the way certain things sound. Because then you can say, all right, I don't like it when I do this type of thing and I sound this type of way. So, for instance, let's say you're a singer and you're recording yourself, you hear yourself doing certain parts in falsetto, which is a higher head voice, softer sort of higher head voice, and then other parts in full voice at a similar register but more powerfully. And then you realize, well, wow, like I sound really good doing the falsetto on those higher notes, but the full voice going up there just doesn't seem to sound right, and I can't seem to get a strong push on those. So why don't I reevaluate how I'm singing these parts and consider that, hey, my strengths are really in the softer tones with the falsetto hits, especially when I just touch on them and come back down. Then that's something good that you can do and use as this like little spicy flavor that you add, and it makes you sound much better, even if it's just a couple of times, and you're now avoiding doing things that are questionably good, or maybe good sometimes, but you can't consistently hit those notes the same way and do the same thing. So now you're mostly avoiding that for the time being, okay, until you improve your voice overall to maybe consider trying it again. But now you're avoiding those moments where you're sounding, not as good as you wanted to sound, or you hope to sound, or that you can sound. You're avoiding those things that make it appear that way. And by doing so, now accentuating everything you are good at and allowing the small palette of things that you're really, really, really good at to be the main things that are used in all of your performances. So if you're focusing on the strengths, it's not just that, okay, now I'm going to appear better by only showing the good stuff that I can do, but you're also sort of subconsciously or maybe inadvertently boosting your confidence, okay? And that's one of the most essential things in using your voice as a performer, because you need to have that confidence to help you let go, to help you let your voice shine, all right? So, with all those things we've said already to this point, the more you practice, the more you record yourself and tweak your voice, the more you learn breathing, the more you now avoid the weak parts of your voice and emphasize the strong parts, that's going to build confidence. But definitely, especially avoiding weaknesses and focusing on strengths. That is a huge confidence booster, because now you're focusing on those things you're good at, and you're starting to now hear yourself in a really great way. All the recordings you're doing and everything, it's really starting to let your voice shine, and it's a great feeling. It's a really, really great feeling. I hope that you consider doing that, because you can get that feeling, and it will eventually lead to helping you improve the areas that you avoided there, because of the confidence boost. Now you can feel confident in knowing that there are certain areas that you wished you were stronger in that now you can work to be. And that only happens by starting with focusing on the strengths and growing from there, okay? Because if you're too focused on what you can't do and what you don't have, you're never going to move forward. You have to focus on what you have, on what you can do, on what you're good at. Stay in that place mentally, and it's going to help you move forward and improve in the areas that you're not happy with. So keep that in mind, okay? Focus on your strengths. Forget about your weaknesses. Avoid them like the plague, but make a note of them, okay? And you can work to improve them down the road as you accentuate your strengths and really improve and make them even more strong, because that's how the weaknesses will grow. Focusing on the strengths, growing in those areas, then you can trickle it down to the areas where you're not happy, where you wish you had improvement. Okay? So focus on your strengths. Forget about the weaknesses. Forget about the things you don't have, the resources you don't have, the money you don't have, the time you don't have. Focus on what you do have. Okay? The fifth way to improve your voice. Okay? And this has a variety of applications in terms of what it improves, but is to perform at open mics regularly. Open mics are amazing, and they happen all the time, all over the place, everywhere. I mean, realistically, I don't think it matters where you are. There's going to be some open mics that happen once a month, once a week, somewhere nearby you or within a certain reasonable traveling distance from you. So put together a song, 2 songs, and go to these open mics and do them. Do it as often as you possibly can. I mean, it doesn't have to be bajillion times a week, every single open mic in every possible area. You could go all the time. That's not what I mean. But doing open mics, especially if it's, maybe, it's not in your town. Maybe it's a few towns over. You don't really know too many people there, but they have this open mic once a month or once a week. And the ones that are once a month can be better because there can be more people there. And, and all that, but doesn't really matter. The idea is you go to an open mic somewhere, maybe a town or 2 away from you. The one in your town is okay too. I'm just saying it's nice because if you don't know people there, you can sort of let loose a little bit, feel a little more comfortable perhaps. But the whole concept here is you can try things out, see what happens when you do certain things, right? When you do certain songs, right? You also have to read the vibe of open mics. What type of open mic is this? Is this everyone here doing poetry, and I'm coming in with a thrash metal song that I'm going to cover, or is this clearly a rapper's open mic, and I'm here trying to do a banjo thing, So read it a little bit, maybe go and scope it out. But the whole really amazing thing about the open mics is you can try things, experiment, get feedback from people, meet people. There's always going to be someone there that comes up to you and says like, hey, I like that. At least one person, right? Or even if that's not the case, there's always a chance that you see someone that you liked perform, and you just have to talk to them and say, oh, wow, I really liked that performance. Like, I'd love to talk to you. So you can learn by seeing what other people are doing, all right? And maybe you see people doing certain things with pedals on their guitar or something, or seeing people doing certain songs that you never thought about doing but would love to do yourself, or certain styles that that inspires me to incorporate something like that into what I'm doing. And just overall, you're going to meet people and network and hear about other opportunities and maybe get feedback and tips. Like you might have someone there who's like this renowned vocal coach who just loves to go around and sing at freaking open mics, and they hear you sing and are like, or rap, and are like, wow, you have a really nice voice. I recommend though trying this, or you know what, watch your breathing. You got a really nice voice, but focus on your breathing, or something. You might encounter that. It's highly likely, actually, because anyone who does music or in any kind of way would be potentially out there doing these things just because they love to perform, which you should do also. You should also love to perform. But this also helps you get over any kind of feelings you might have about performing in front of people. It helps you to feel more comfortable in that whole situation. I'm performing this thing and there are people here in the room physically. It's just overall a really, really great thing. The open mic type thing is one of the best ideas anyone's ever had. Because sure, you might have some people that come and play at open mic that, shouldn't really be playing, but who cares? Let them do what they want to do. That's fun for them. Go ahead. That's what open mic's about. But it's an opportunity for you to get up there and to perform a song, to try it out. I tend to find that open mic communities tend to have a lot of regular people at them that you'll see. If you go every time, you'll see the same people every time, that type of thing. So sometimes they get like really strong tightly knit communities from these open mics. Okay. And I've seen a few where they really, really become supportive of each other and, end up gigging together, playing together. Like, it's so important that you do this, not just for improving your voice, but improving your life and your career and your involvement in music, because you're now immersing yourself in a world of music regularly. So many levels. Go to the open mics. Do it. Do it now. If you don't play an instrument and have an accompaniment, like get a track, an instrumental track to bring with you, like anything. Just go and do it. Because maybe even if it's a stupid thing, instrumental that you played, you might play it there, right? And do the song, and it sounds okay. You sang good, or you rapped good, but the instrumental sounded weird through the PA that way, and this was a little tiny PA for a small bar or something, and it didn't sound like, but maybe there's somebody there who was there to perform their songs, and they play the guitar and sing, and they liked your song. They just realized it sounded weird that way, and they said, hey, what if I just played guitar for you the next time you perform that song? I think that would be cool. If I just played this thing, here, it would be cool if you did that over that. Hey, great. Wow, yeah. And then all of a sudden, you now have someone that you can perform with occasionally, and it can totally grow into something beautiful from there. So keep your mind open, keep your heart open, keep yourself in general just open to these things. Going to the open mics is really, really huge. So don't discount open mics. They're amazing. Okay? The sixth and final way to improve your voice in this particular video scenario, whatever, is to find trusted friends for honest feedback. This is a little difficult in some situations, okay? There's so many people out there that don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, okay? And there's also a lot of people who are sensitive to their feelings based on someone giving them honest criticism. So you have to be open for someone to tell you what is not right and what you need to work on. Because if you're not open, no one will be honest with you, and you'll never improve. You want to improve, correct? So understand that you need to improve. No matter how good you think you are or how good you are, you still need to improve, period. You need to improve. You always need to improve, okay? But finding people who will be honest with you regarding your voice, especially your voice, because it seems like it's unanimously agreed that it's such an intimate thing to sing or perform with your voice or say lyrics, musically. It's a very intimate thing. But so people kind of feel like they don't want to hurt your feelings because that's an intimate thing and it's a direct connection to you. But if you can find someone who will be honest with you and tell you what you need to work on, you need to keep that locked down, okay? You need to keep that locked down. And don't overuse it. Don't abuse that relationship, but use it. Okay? Get feedback. What are the things that you're hearing in my voice that I could make better, or that I shouldn't be doing, that I should be trying this, or, get honest feedback. Okay? Tell me what you really, really think. I don't want you to say, yeah, that sounds cool, man. You're doing great things. I don't want that. I want you to tell me what you think. If you love it, yeah, tell me that. But even if you love it, I'll bet you there's something that you don't necessarily love or like about it. Okay? I want to hear that. I want to know. I want you to tell me, because that's going to make me think about it. Okay? You want to take every piece of feedback, obviously, with a grain of salt, in a sense, right? But that's the whole point of labeling this as trusted friends. You need to speak to people you trust who will give you honest feedback with no intention behind it. I found that there are some people, like you're a rapper and you have a friend that's a rapper, and you always ask them for advice, for feedback. But I mean, especially with rappers, they tend to be competitive. Like, oh yeah, it's dope, but really it's not. And they just want to make sure you don't get better than they are. Okay. That's rampant in the rap community. Yeah, that's dope, man. No, it's terrible. What is it? You want them to tell you that they think it's terrible. That's fine, because you can decide to say, well, like, I think you're wrong. I don't think it's terrible, but where can I improve it though? Like, where is it? Where is it missing something? Where is it off? Where is it, so, but you need to find people you trust, okay, that will be honest with you and tell you what they think. If you can have a few people like that, that's better, because you'll find that you get slightly different feedback from all of them. Then you can see, okay, I have 3 friends that I trust. That's a pretty solid number. Three friends who you trust to tell you what they think is a pretty solid number. You have a potential for a little rainbow of ideas, okay? This person says they like this aspect. This person says they didn't like that aspect. That's interesting. But this person said they liked it also. One person didn't like it. 2 people did. Oh, so maybe it's not something I should be too hung up on, but I'll consider it, thinking about it. Or, hey, all 3 of them said that this was wrong. There was something wrong with this, or there was something that sounded off, or there was something that sounded not right with this particular thing. If all 3 of them say that, then wow, I should consider looking at that. should consider working on that. But overall, just having people you trust to ask about stuff, who are not gonna either not gonna play stuff of yours that you send them to all their friends. They're not gonna post it up on their YouTube or something. Yo, check this out, before you're ready to release something, or who are not gonna, put you down, but they're gonna give you honest criticism. Putting you down is not what you want. But you want honesty. Listen, I think that, it's cool what you're doing. I kind of like the vibe of it, but I feel like something's not right in what you're saying compared to this, or I feel like something's, that's what you want. You don't want someone who's like, yeah, that's great. And you don't want someone that's like, dude, this sucks. I can't even listen to it. I mean, I guess if that's really how you feel, I'd like to know that, but that's not really helpful feedback, That's just, at that point, that's your opinion, okay? So you should consider, if there's a few friends you have in mind that definitely would be good for this role, you should consider sitting down with them and asking them, like, for their help. Like, I need you to give me feedback on the stuff that I'm working on. Or I'm trying to improve my voice. I'm going to send you a couple of videos of me singing or rapping on my phone, just so you can, like, see what I'm working on and where I'm going. Like, maybe you have a different thought altogether, or maybe I'm just totally off on something. I want some honest feedback from you. I want you to be honest with me. Like, sit down with someone and say that. Someone you trust will probably appreciate that you are coming to them for something that's important to you, like that. And if someone says something like, they get weird about it, or, anything like that, just, they're not the person for it, okay? So find people you can trust, at least 2 to 3, okay? That you can trust to give you honest feedback and not blow anything out of proportion, not, stomp on you or anything like that. Honest, real honest feedback, okay? So that's it. To recap, the 6 ways that we've gone over today, which are 6 of many, okay, to improve your voice are regular practice, studying breath control and exercises, recording yourself regularly, focusing on your strengths and worrying about weaknesses later, okay, performing at open mics regularly. And regularly doesn't have to be every week, but once a month is a really good, solid, regular thing, okay? And you have a month to work on stuff, right? And finding trusted friends for honest, truly honest feedback. That's what you really, really want, okay? So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.